maybe the first wrestling autograph signing I went to, which was about 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago. And I went up to New Jersey and did Legends of the Ring or whatever they have up there. And somebody came out. It was Stevie came out with a BWO shirt on, and I read Blue World Order. Didn't know anything about the Blue Meanie back then, but that's when I first experienced the BWO. So now something on fire here, or are they just lighting up another doobie?
The entire audience lit up doobies. So here you go. I need you to give us some commentary on what you're seeing here.
Come on, Francine. Oh, I swear comes Francine. Say it on my face. Francine, I'm in love with you. She was dressed. Whoa. Wait, hold on a second here. Thank you very much for the security departing ways here so I could see. Does he just have like a niggle? Oh, she does. She's got a T-back on here. That's all she's got on.
That's how old you are. You call that a T-back.
What are they called now?
Thongs.
That's a thong. Wow.
Have you heard the thong song?
No. Are you going to play that for me too?
Do you want me to?
Yeah, I may have heard the thong song. I'm not sure.
I think you probably have.
Yeah. She's all live there. Francine is. Man, alive.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm just waiting.
So do they do some pretty good business with her?
With Francine?
Yeah, so to speak.
They did a lot of business with Francine.
Did they?
Francine's husband is a listener to this show.
Wow.
But he's in on the gag though. He expects you to be Tony.
Okay. Did he wrestle her husband?
No. He's a real human.
And here's one of the, I think one of the more underrated performers. And I say that because I always did like Shane Douglas. Thought he was a good talker, had a great deep bass voice, was very expressive and could do a lot of good things. And, there was that run that he had in WCW. He did some announcing with me, and I liked him a heck of a lot. So there.
Playing a little thong song here for you, Tony.
All right. I've heard this. That's cool, man.
Here comes the chorus. I'm going to need you to do this.
Francine knows how to stand, man. Doesn't you know how to stand in the ring? She knew how to take that left leg and cock it out there to the left.
I love that that's your compliment. Man, didn't Francine know how to stand?
She did. Look at it. Look how she's standing. I always say that beautiful women know how to stand, and she knew how to stand. And I know her husband probably knows that as well.
You know, ECW, when they came back in the WWE, the name of the show, One Night Stand.
No. Okay. So now they roll in a little high spot there with the franchise, Shane Douglas, who apparently is a champion here. Wow. Francine just bent right over there towards us. And I don't know what champion he is here. He's not the ECW champion. Who's the guy with the neck brace? Is that a guy that franchise put out?
That is Pitbull, but I'm going to let you guess his real name.
Okay, so this is the footage of Pitbull coming in the ring, I guess.
He just threw down a man with a halo.
He grabbed a guy with a halo and yanked him down.
And who is this guy with the mask talking, Tony?
I don't know. If I could hear his voice, I probably know who it is. I don't know who it is. Good God. What, I guess they're just showing old footage here, right?
They're trying to explain the backstory here.
The backstory. Okay. So this is Pitbull. I don't know who it is. What's his real name?
His real name was Gary Wolf.
Okay. He's passed on, I guess.
Believe so.
Okay.
No, that's the other Pitbull that passed away. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. So this is going to be what? Another Pitbull? Oh yeah. Pitbull 2. Pitbull 2 comes in with a chain.
Sort of like Mr. Wrestling 2.
Yeah. Mr. Wrestling 2. So we got Pitbull, who got his neck wrenched while he was in a halo, and here now is Pitbull 2, and he is taking a fight to Shane Douglas, the franchise, and a big back body drop. And a spin wheel kick off the right side ropes. So Pitbull number 2, can you know the backstory on him? Is he still wrestling? Did he come to WCW and I forgot who the fuck he was? As we know, I forget a lot of people.
No, he did not. He passed away in 2003.
Okay.
He died at just 36 years old of a heart attack.
Holy shit.
He was from New Jersey. His real name was, of course, not Pitbull. It was Anthony Durante, and he may or may not have had some issues with the law once upon a time. But yeah, he started wrestling a long time ago, and obviously this was like his big deal. You know, I think at this point he'd probably been wrestling 9 or 10 years, and I think he came through Larry Sharp's school.
So they go down to the mat, and this is maybe the first grab a side headlock and sell it on the mat that we've seen in this entire show. What are we now? We're about an hour and 10 minutes into this or so. Yeah. And they grab a headlock, and as you can see, the fans ain't buying it at all.
Well, yeah, I mean, it really is sort of, I mean, everybody's on their feet, and I guess there's a lot to talk about here. You've got two things going on. Go ahead. Who's Bubblehead over here on the right, down the at ringside? That's they escorted Shane Douglas in. Shane Douglas had so much heat here when he shook Gary Wolf in the halo. You see another one on the opposite side over there. Right. Okay. That was the security I got it now. They're trying to really keep the fans at bay because they've had like near riots. People were chasing them to their cars and trying to cut tires and run them off the road. Whoa. Wait a minute. Seriously? Yeah. People took it very serious because, you know, this is a very local promotion. A lot of these people here live in South Philadelphia and know these guys in real life. And, you know, they knew that he had a real neck injury. He really did legitimately break his neck from a single arm DDT that was delivered by Shane Douglas. And he really did have to have surgery, and he really was in a halo, and it was a legitimate thing. And then Paul Heyman, of course, decided to turn it into an angle, which a lot of promoters would, and it had real fucking heat. So these are smart fans, but they were able to say, okay, this is too fucking far. And they took it serious. Well, I got to say that if ECW fans say, you've taken it too far, then you've done a good job. Yeah. I mean, let's hear it for Shane Douglas and all this stuff, and Paul Heyman for doing that. Oh, did I tell you that I got to see Paul when I was recently at Raw, and talked to him in the backstage area for just a tad. No, I didn't know that. Yeah, he didn't seem to want to talk to me, which is fine. Don't know why. I don't know why I would have heat with him. He was nice, but he was distant. Well, I saw him at the Hall of Fame, and he gave me a lot of time. Yeah. So. Well, that's because you and he work for the same company. Well, that's probably right. It's fucking sellout. So they actually would chase Shane Douglas out of the arena and try to crash his car and slash his tire. That is unheard of. That's old school shit, man. That's like the story of Ole Anderson getting cut in Greenville, South Carolina. Right. And that's the level of heat that he had here. And, you know, he was off a run that maybe wasn't as awesome as he and a lot of people in the WWF expected. He was the Dean Douglas character up there. Did you ever see Dean Douglas? No. So he was a big deal here in ECW before he left. And he goes up there and they turned him into a teacher of sorts. And they send him out in like a collegiate like gown, almost like the Genius. Sure. And he's in the back with a chalkboard, sort of scratching his fingernails on the chalkboard. Everybody a rundown of what their match would have been or could have been and what their grade was. And he called himself, you know, Dean Douglas. And it went over like a turd in a punch bowl, as you can imagine. Yeah. Right. And he comes back here and he's sort of anti everything. He's anti WWF. He's anti the Clique, Vince McMahon. He's anti Eric Bischoff. He's anti Dick Flair. Right. You know, he's just like sort of the anti-establishment guy, and he's calling himself the franchise because he was I guess he was the first ECW champion. He won the NWA tournament in 94 and then threw down the NWA belt and picked up the ECW belt and called himself
the very first ECW champion instead of the next NWA champion. So he's a big part of ECW, and he's working a tag team wrestler here for the television title, but they're making it work just based on the heat.
Sure. Absolutely. And you could just, you can, there's just, am I wrong to say there's Marry Me Francine? How about that? Am I wrong to say that there's a different type of vibe in the crowd here during this match?
No, I think it's an unenviable position to follow 6 high flying Japanese, almost cruiserweight types who are just high action all the time. And now you've got like a big bruiser type in Pitbull and a more traditional classic, wrestler in Shane Douglas. And I think it's really hard to follow that, especially when you've had, lots of crazy action so far with the tag team match, which was really more of a tornado match. And then you've got Rob Van Dam with the chair, just pulling out all the crazy hot spots. And now that's 6-man. And now we've got more traditional, hey, we're doing heat. And you can see Shane here trying to do the pile driver. And he's trying to tell a story here, which nobody has done so far in this show. It's just been crazy displays of hot spots and whatnot. But he's trying to sell that, hey, he's trying to break his neck too.
Right. And, but again, it's like I said, for the first time in the show, we've seen someone snatch a headlock and go to the mat. So this is something completely different. And again, I was just wondering if it was the legitimate heat that Shane Douglas had, or that the fans just are not buying it because they want high spot after high spot, table after chair, after hardcore, after all kinds of bullshit, and they're not getting it here. But the fact is, we're getting a solid match from Shane Douglas.
No, absolutely. If you're a wrestling fan, then you're probably a Shane Douglas fan, because he's very much a traditional wrestler, very good in the ring, a strong promo. He had a good character. He was believable. But, if you were looking for crazy hot spots, he's probably not your guy. And that's not a knock on Shane. It's just not his deal. But in fairness, you probably, I don't know anything about booking wrestling, but I do know that if it's all high paced, high action, high flying, eventually they don't matter. And so you've got to sort of get them up, bring them down, get them up, bring them down. And maybe that's what they're doing here, because if they're going to follow this with, some crazy hardcore stuff from Terry Funk or Sandman, or maybe, some crazy tables and flips with Sabu, you've got to be able to sort of take them up and bring them down.
I'm sorry, I heard you talking, but Francine got on the side of the hard camera and put her back to us, and that took my attention away. You were talking about something. I don't know what it was.
Have you Googled Francine?
No, I have not. I'll let her husband do that.
Well, I don't think he has a problem with you Googling her, but
okay.
I do think if you Googled her, you would find some things you would be interested in, because she did lots of bikini shoots for the wrestling magazines back in the day. It's probably your thing.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Why? Okay. I'm Googling Francine.
Yeah. Type in Francine ECW and then just start clicking around and roll Tide.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. I am. Go Dogs. Wow. All right.
See, that doesn't work. When you say go Dogs about a woman, that doesn't work. Let's just stick with Roll Tide.
I ain't saying that, man. I ain't motherfucking saying that. Okay. Okay.
Which one of your family is calling? I heard a Star Wars thing.
No, that's our surprise guest coming up later on.
Oh, there you go. Wait, we have a guest?
Yes, we have a guest.
Oh, okay.
For the first time ever.
Does this mean I'm going away?
No, shit, no. You're the driving force behind all this.
Well, I'll tell you what.
At least I think you are.
If I was going away, let me tell you, I would go to awaytravel.com/happened, and I would use promo code happened at checkout, and I get $20 off a suitcase. Now, I want to mention, this is not a paid ad, even though what I sounded like was a paid ad. And here's why I'm throwing this in here, Tony. When we first signed Away as a sponsor on this show, like a month ago, they sent you and I bags. And
yes,
I know
they did.
You did a testimonial on our wedding episode. I had not used it at that point. I did not do it, but I actually had an opportunity to use this thing, WrestleMania weekend. And then this past weekend when I flew to Charlotte. This is my favorite piece of luggage I've ever owned.
It's the real deal, isn't it?
And what's cool about it is this USB charger. Like when I'm at an airport, it almost feels like those charging stations are at a damn premium. Like you can't get anywhere near them. People are even sitting on the floor up against the wall just to have a little bit of power. And man, I don't have to do that. I can sit wherever I want. I've got my own power right there. This thing holds a charge forever. I've charged my phone on this thing, what feels like 10 times. It's still not dead. I absolutely love it. This is not paid. I just wanted to bring it to you guys' attention that, every now and again I run across something and I'm like, fuck, you got to get one of these. Well, you got to get one of these. awaytravel.com/happened. And they're going to give you $20 off. Not a paid ad. I'm just doing it because I believe in it and it's awesome. And you need to go get one. We like it so much that I've got to go back and I've got to buy one for the person in my life because they want like the girly version. They want the blush color.
Right.
And I want another one because I want the one that's got the pocket on the outside.
Right. So the one is a little bit bigger. We have the one that's like the carry-on.
We got the small one, but they've got one step up. That's still a carry-on, but it's got the exterior pocket.
Right.
I'm getting that one and I'm getting her the blush one and I'm getting $20 off because I'm using our own code. And I don't think that's illegal. awaytravel.com/happened and you get $20 off.
Could have broke a leg right there, guys. And this is a very unique visual that we've got. One of the safety rails in the ring. I don't think I've ever seen this before. And then Shane tried to drop him across. Of course, a nut shot is perfectly legal in barely legal. And he tried to drop him across the safety rail, which dropped. And then, of course, he ended up knocking Pitbull 2 on the side. Pitbull 1 tried to do a little run-in while we were talking, and oh, good God. My God. See, that's when you start throwing shit through the air, man, that's dangerous stuff, buddy. Dangerous shit. Because it could bounce, it could hit a fan. Of course, the fans here probably want to be a part of the show anyway, so what does that matter, right? You see a table has been broken already. Yow! Now, that time he wanted to get him straddling, but he hit the knee. Hyperextend a knee, blow out a knee. Jesus Christ. When I see kids at working for us at Major League Wrestling, I tell them all, I say, man, take care of your bodies. I understand that we're after high spots these days. And I understand the pro wrestling that I remember has changed a great deal. But please be careful. And they just do so many crazy things now.
What are people in store for when MLW gets on TV? What are they in store for, Tony?
Well, you're going to see. Did I hear something just now? Something odd. You're going to see. One of the biggest wrestlers ever at 469 pounds, Barrington Hughes. You're going to see the return of. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Colonel Robert Parker.
How about that?
He returns with his new tag team, the Dirty Blondes. You're going to see. You're going to see a lot. We call it Conrad. We call it fusion because we have some great luchadors, some guys who came from MMA, and great classic wrestlers. So it's a fusion of all styles. You're going to see Pentagon, Rey Fenix, a lot of them, great luchadors. And you're going to see my personal favorite, the impresario herself, Selena De La Renta.
What can you tell us about Selena?
That she's absolutely gorgeous, and she has now become a conduit for great wrestlers, great luchadors from south of the border coming into MLW. So, and she's absolutely spectacular.
I like it.
Yeah. So a lot of good things going on. And me working with Rich Bocchini too is pretty cool. Like working with Rich.
Hey, Bruce, you're on the air with Tony and I. Would you like to say hello to everybody at What Happened When?
Hello, Tony and I, and What Happened When? How's everybody doing? How y'all doing tonight?
Man, we're having fun. I'm introducing Tony to ECW for the very first time, and I know you usually have a reaction whenever you hear about ECW.
N32!
He's calling bingo numbers here, Tony. Can you believe this?
Got it. Wow, this must be a shit show to bring Bruce on to have to save us.
Well, you're in the ECW arena. What else do you want?
Okay. Hey, Bruce, congratulations to you and Conrad selling your fucking souls out. You damn sell out to the evil empire.
Selling out left and right, Tony. Everywhere we go, you can best believe it is going to be sizzled is out. That's what we do, man. You just call us Mr. Sold Out.
Okay.
Both of us.
Yeah,
So,
I know.
I-
Either one of us will answer to it.
I think Tony's had enough of our shenanigans. Do you want to talk about our real business on the call, or should I call you when we're done with this Shane Douglas match?
Well, I like shenanigans. I was just going to touch base with you. You can call me when you're done with that Shane Douglas match, and I'll just bend your ear for a sec.
Hey, let me ask you, he's wrestling Pitbull number 2. What's your favorite Pitbull number 2 match?
That time when Pitbull number 1 got mad at Pitbull number 2, and they had that match to see who would be number 3.
I like it. I can't say that Tony likes you, but I know you have a reaction for us.
Fuck Tony Schiavone.
Yeah.
All right. See you, buddy. So there you go. You never know what's going to happen here on What Happened when Bruce Prichard did a run in.
Yeah. How about that? Why don't we get Bischoff to do a run in too?
I mean, you may call him.
Might as well promote his show.
We could call and ask him, hey, Tony has a question. Do you take it up the ass? Because we're watching ECW here, and Tony said he thought you took it up the ass.
Oh God, 1, 2. Well, apparently Bischoff was hated amongst ECW fans. Would that be safe to say?
Wasn't Bischoff hated amongst all wrestling fans?
Well, of course, he played a very good heel. So yes, I guess he did.
Yeah, I wasn't saying that to shit on him personally. I'm just saying that was his character.
Right. So yeah, but I mean, with ECW fans, it was more of a shoot than with other wrestling fans.
I think everything was more of a shoot.
Okay. So in the midst of all this, Francine just rubbing his hair and getting him back in there, and now she's going to run around the ring. Let's widen out the shot here a little bit. Come on. Well, she disappeared over on the right-hand side.
Is this the same level of production quality we can expect from MLW?
No. I think MLW's got some very good people working for it, including the guy we just talked to. Did you know that?
I did. And I guess
are we allowed to say that?
No, yeah, that's out there.
Okay, Bruce Prichard is one of the producers for MLW.
See, so a lot of people are saying, hey, you guys sold out. Yeah, we sold out to everybody who will give us money, whether it's Away, WWE, MLW, Mid-Roll, or even our good friends, and I know you're excited to talk about this, Double R Diesel, because these guys want to remind you that no matter if you like to stroke, ram, and come, or be a dirty max, we got the parts to keep you going. All original equipment that's the right fit for your rig. They got over 40 years experience servicing diesel engines, and if you need your fuel injection equipment tested, repaired, or replaced, they got you covered. Most repairs are finished and shipped back within a week, and the website is easy to use. They've got application guides so you can find all the parts that you need, and they offer special pricing for repair shops and fleets. Now remember, it's free shopping on any order or repair over $100 for all of our What Happened When listeners, and you get 20% off your total repair order if you mention this ad. Follow them on Instagram and check them out on Facebook at Double R Diesel Inc. That's Double R Diesel INC. And don't forget to contact our man Eric Rash. He is at 970-243-7777. That's Eric Rash, 970-243-7777. He's in Grand Junction, Colorado, but free shipping, man. Get you some of that at doublerDieselinc.com. That's doublerDieselinc.com. And Eric is a big listener of the show. He supports the show. We hope you support him, and we can keep some of our silliness going. So thank you for all the support, Eric.
Thanks, Eric. And I need my injection system clean too. But he probably couldn't help me with mine.
Hey, would you clean Francine's injection system?
I would certainly give it a shot. Here's a cover. Now, what was Shane doing there? Going down in his boot?
It looked like he was about to pull out a foreign object, which Shane Douglas was known for.
Right.
Hiding foreign objects in the trunks, in the boots, some sort of a metal chain. You never know what he's got in there. Huh. Look, there it is, a metal chain. Oh, God.
I thought he was trying to take his right foot off like Kerry Von Erich for a moment. But he just dug down in there and he's got the chain. And Pitbull number 2's got a chain. Who the hell is? Oh, it's Chris Candido. He hit him with a chain. And here comes. Don't you dare hit that woman. He swiped at her. What the hell's he doing? And now from behind, here's a roll up. The referee rumbles over. 1, 2. Got a 2 count.
So the reason Candido saved him is Candido is a member of a faction with Shane Douglas. And the third member of the faction is, well, I won't tell you his name, but you'll see him in a little while.
He's going to happen. It's going to have get involved in the end of this match.
Well, cool. Maybe not here, maybe later. Here's my question though. What do you think the name of the faction is with Chris Candido, one other fellow, and Shane Douglas?
Okay. The Butt Boys.
The Butt Boys get the nod here.
Okay.
Shane Douglas retains after a belly to belly suplex, almost a Magnum TA style finish. And you see Chris Candido over there with the streamers from the Japanese match celebrating.
All right. So Francine's up on the apron of the ring, and still your champion is the franchise, Shane Douglas. Now the fans are looking. What are they looking for? A run in? What are they looking for?
Here's what's happening. We're hearing a guy do commentary. The guy that we were seeing earlier, the masked man. There's a masked man.
Wait a second. Well, I know who that is.
Who?
That's Ravishing Rick Rude. Simply Ravishing.
It does say Simply Ravishing on the robe.
Well, and that's his robe. And of course he's laying a big one on Francine. But what's he doing with a mask on? Yeah. How about that? Yeah. You got cold cock though. I'll tell you that. Gee whiz. Ravishing Rick Rude. Take off the mask. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, shit. That's Rick Rude. Oh, it's a swerve. It's Roadblock on dialysis. My God, he's down to 200 pounds. Holy shit. Rude and who's the guy on the left? Roadblock on dialysis, I guess. And he's got Douglas down and the fans are going berserk.
Roadblock on dialysis is actually Primetime Brian Lee, who was the third member of the faction. It was Chris Candido, Shane Douglas, and Primetime Brian Lee, or Bulldozer Brian Lee, whatever you prefer.
Okay.
And he has apparently turned on the group, the Butt Boys.
Okay.
And now he's with Ravishing Rick Rude. So, of course, Rude was the guy who we saw earlier in the mask, and it was very obvious just based on his physique and his voice that it was Rick Rude all along. So when Brian Lee came out in the Rick Rude robe, everyone assumes, oh, this is him. And ta-da, one of the security guards who's been ringside this entire time, turns out that, in fact, was Ravishing Rick Rude. And now we've set up our next angle for what's next in ECW. But Shane Douglas escapes with the ECW title intact. And, of course, Francine on his arm. So not a bad night for Mr. Douglas.